I'm just pinning a comment. Ha! All right, I figured out how to pin a code. I feel special. Okay. And I'm gonna just log on really quick on my other phone. So I wanted to, I guess, continue with seeing how good I am or not good I am in attempting to talk about things that I've experienced in my journey as a nail enthusiast, a nail tech. Hi, welcome everybody. Why can't I join my own live? That's weird. Do I have to join live twice? I don't know. That's weird. That's so weird. Okay. So you guys are kind of upside down if I can't. Hi. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things that I figured if I could share and make someone else a little bit more knowledgeable, whether you're the client or whether you're the nail tech or the nail enthusiast, the nail beginner. The talk about efiles drills. They're not one and the same. So I just wanted to go over it and what I learned and what worked, what didn't work, things you need to look out for as the client, to just make sure that when you are being serviced, you're being serviced properly, that the tech that's working on you has some knowledge on what they're actually doing. And so, you're not afraid of it either. I can't tell you how many of the horror stories I've heard where someone comes and they're like, oh my God, someone did this on my nails and I don't ever want them using that drill on my hand again. Well, I'm sorry that they used the drill on you, but the device that I'm using is not a drill. It's an efile. And that's exactly what it is. It's an electric file. It's no different than the file that we use here. Where's my camera? Over here. So it's no different than the camera that you're using, the file that you're using here versus, using a hand electrical file. So it's about knowing the products. It's about knowing the bit, what they're used for, how they're being used on you. Are they being used properly? Are you using it properly as the person who's servicing somebody? So just wanted to go over some of those things that I had in trial and error. When the pandemic started, or should I say before the pandemic started, when I used to do my nails, I would use a file because, I wasn't like, I'm not touching that drill. I'm not going to use it. Ring of fire. Exactly. I'm going to get to the ring of fire. And that's exactly what happened. So I went and, because I was so comfortable using this, after a while, I was like, oh, my elbow hurts, my arm, my wrist. I probably wasn't using the right techniques to save my arm or save my fingers, And then I went on Amazon, as most of us did during the pandemic, got a couple of things, and I ordered a quote unquote drill. And I think that one, I can say it's safe to say was a drill. It didn't have a base with the motor letting me know how many RPMs. I'll get into what that is. I was using it literally just, you plug it into the wall, you put the attachments that I know they were also familiar. Don't judge it. It's been well loved. The attachments that come with it. And we're like, oh, okay. Yep. I'm going to do my nails. And this is all that you get. And you kind of wing it as in terms of what you're using on your finger. But without the proper knowledge, you can do some really, really serious damage to your nails. And that's exactly what happened to me. So I was under the impression, especially when I was doing dip powder. With dip powder, I used this and this together for a long time for everything, thinking that this was my saving grace to put it together like this, right? I put it straight in, put it into the piece over here, and I would go to town, right? I'd go to town to the point where I'm like, ooh, it's hot in one spot. Ooh, it's tender in another spot. And I know as a client, sometimes we felt that when you go to one of those, I can say, for lack of a better term, a chop shop, right? So you go to the chop shop, you go and they're working on you and you're like, ooh, that hurts. They're like, no, it's okay, it's okay. Or, you know, oh, you look down and you all of a sudden you have, and like, you know, Ray said, you have a ring of fire. So understanding what each bit does, understanding what these are for and how to use them, what product you're using them on all makes a difference. So a drill, just so we can make the established difference, a drill is something that exactly what it is. You're drilling into a wall, you're drilling into something that is not meant for your fingers. And in terms of a file, that's exactly what it is. It is no different than this. It's just electric and it's supposed to work with efficiency for you to move faster, right? And so when it comes to that, the word faster, you're thinking of speed. Speed means that you're going to move through the service faster. It means you're going to do everything ideally more efficiently. But if you're using the wrong bit on the wrong finger, on your finger, it's not going to be as efficient as it's supposed to be. Diamond bits are the ones that look like this. So again, product knowledge, understanding you as the client, knowing, okay, when they're going from piece to piece, what are they using and how are they using it? This is something that's safe to be used on your finger, right? But when you're looking at products that look like this, right? And they're coming at you, this is not something to ever. These are considered carbide bits. They're not diamond. I just want to bring it up closer so you can see the difference. So a diamond ideally is supposed to have bits of pieces of diamond so that this way it can exfoliate and you work towards the cuticle. You can use it on the natural bed. It's safe. This, if you can see the teeth, can you see? You can literally see the teeth. This is something that you should never ever see someone use on your natural nail. It can be used on enhancement. It's more to debulk or shape than it is to ever be used on a natural bed. It will rip into your skin, and that is not what you want, right? This is the equivalent of this. They go by the numbers the same way, fine, medium, or rough grit. And then you also have the numbers here to indicate it when you're using a hand file. So it's the same equivalent so that it should be working on your natural nail bed or enhancement with no issue based on what your service you're using or you're trying to do, or if you're the client. If they're using something that is supposed to be a higher grit on a natural bed, then no. If they're using this on your natural bed and they're using it at a high speed, no. The key to an efile is slow and steady. Now, if you can use it at a higher rate or RPM, which is considered a revolution per minute, that's just what it's called and abbreviated for. If you can use that at a higher speed, more power to you. You've mastered it, but it is not necessary. It does nothing more other than make you run faster through getting through the service. But are you looking to just get through it faster, or are you looking to have a phenomenal shape and amazing work? So those are some things to consider if you're the enthusiast, and some things to know and watch out for in terms of red flags as the client. Hi, welcome. I'm just going over some things that I've learned, like understanding the difference between diamond bits and your carbide bits. Sorry, I put those back. Your carbide bits. Carbide bits are never ever to be used on the natural nail bed. And that's something that I learned the hard way. The same way I learned the hard way when you're using any type of enhancement. This will not do anything other than help prepare the natural nail bed or do like a final finish before you're ready to put any type of nail gel polish on top of it. If you're using this to debulk, you'll be there forever, and it will cause heat. And you know what that feels like because you definitely, yes, quality over quantity. Thank you, Ray. You're there for so long that you end up causing that, quote unquote, a rug burn on your fingernail when you're using something that's not meant for it to be used for, especially when you're trying to debulk with something like this. It's not meant for that. This, like I said, this is meant to finish file. if you're using it as a finished file. This is meant to remove any shine. Like say if you're going to do a dip removal, that shine that's on that layer, you can file it. It'll take the shine off, and then you're ready to use whatever acetone and or dip acrylic removal, those little gels. I've used them. Some of them are efficient, some of them aren't. It depends. But that's what it's really made for. It's not meant to be used as a debulker. Heat also can cause issues with the ring of fire. Heat can cause you to, using it like that can also cause you tenderness and soreness. I've had a couple of people like, oh, I don't want to use the efile. Can you use something else? Not realizing that I can cause just as much damage with the regular hand file than I can with this. It's no different. It's just a matter of how the product is being used. So I definitely wanted to make sure that it's something that people know and understand. And like I said, I experienced it. I can't tell you how many times I'd take something off with this, not having any of these new products that I have that I've learned to use, and cause damage to my nail plate, or had heat damage, or while I'm, was learning with my mom and my sister and family friends, that I was either causing a ring of fire, causing some type of tenderness. And over time, if you do your research, there's plenty of great product videos out there, and you can learn so much. I know one of the brands I found that gives a lot of information is this one. They do lives, just like, a lot of the different products, but they actually give you a good wealth of knowledge on the products that they have, how to use the products, the right way to use the products, the right way to care for the products. So it's always good to make sure that you do your research and not just buy something because it's shiny and pretty. And again, I'm guilty of that. But yes, so RPMs can go between 0 to 30 or 35 is the highest I've ever seen for some brands. Their machines for an e-file. Again, you should never be using it at that speed, but if you can, more power to you. If you can't, work slow. Slow is best. Like if you're using anything on a natural bed, it should be between 3 to 5 RPMs. Anything beyond that, it's not healthy for that. And then if you're going to use it on any type of enhancement, I would recommend that you use it anywhere between 8 and 10. If you're really, really confident, 12 is okay if you want to move through the surface fast and removing a type of gel, or if you're trying to debulk. So again, when it comes to debulking, you're going to use products like this, right? You're going to use the bits that have the teeth, because they're going to work through any type of enhancement faster. So let's say I came in and I wanted to soak my, and I wanted to soak my hands off and get them started over again, right? I wanted to take this acrylic off. I am going to use a debulker. The debulker, I'm going to get it down as far as I can before I get to the natural nail plate. And then I'm going to probably use my acetone to remove it, so that this way I'm not letting this touch the actual nail bed. And then I can use whatever the tools or implements that I have to remove the rest of the product that's there and start fresh. So again, as the client, pay attention to how they're doing that. Pay attention to how they're removing some of these things for you. And then you also have other bits that are used to help shape. So like something like this, if you have a square nail, I don't have a square nail, and you're trying to do a C-curve, or they're trying to get that perfect shape for you, they're going to use it around your cuticle. Again, not on your skin, around your cuticle. They're going to come underneath and they're going to clean it. Like there should never be anything underneath there once they're finishing the surface for you. But different things every bit has its use, its purpose. So this is used to go underneath and clean around. This could be used to remove gel, and also to help shape the nail. And then that's the other thing. There's always should be an action of going down and coming back up, going down and coming back up. If they're constantly keeping it on, it's going to do this loop around action. It's going to scare you. It's going to scare them. No bueno. So I just want to share the little gems I've learned. Not to say that I'm expert. I know I'm not. There's so much to be learned. But, if I could share what I've experienced, I know that I've helped somebody else. Something like this comes in a bit. This comes with their case for their soft gel remover for this particular brand. So something like this, if you're using Gel X, if you're using Builder Gel, if you're using even acrylic, you'd be surprised. It does a good job of removing the gel polish and getting it down. Let's say if you're using a color acrylic, it depending on how your service. I typically, when I do acrylic, I do a clear base, and then I'll put my color, so that this way when the person comes in for a refill, I'm not bringing it all the way down to the nail plate. I am bringing it down to the clear and then getting this as close to the clear as possible so I can then move on in the service. So just some things to keep in mind in terms of how you're being serviced, what to look out for. The other thing you want to make sure that you're looking out for is angles. So angles will also cause that friction that's called ring of fire. When you're using it, you want to make sure it's always parallel, right? Oh, sorry. You want to make sure it's always parallel, right? Regardless of which bit it is, it should be parallel so that this way you're not digging in. So if you are coming in at this angle right here, right? What do you think is going to happen? It's going to go dig in, right? And it's going to cause a ring of fire, that little divot you see in your skin. That should never happen. Does it happen? Yes. Do you want, are you expecting it to happen? It should never be an expectancy to happen for you. So that's just something to keep in mind if you see someone who's not knowledgeable of the product. It's as the nail tech or as the enthusiast or as the client, everyone should be making sure that they have some idea or understanding of what the product is and how it should be used. Some of my favorite tools or bits, should I say, that I like, that help, especially with cuticle work, which is very tricky for some people in the sense where the cuticle can be a little bit intimidating. So I found with this brand that these two Russian bits are game changers. And I say that because when you're servicing and you see how this one is pointed, it goes straight in, underneath, and gets the protein that needs to be removed from the nail, right? And then it comes back when you're done. You come back, and now you're kind of using the diamond bit. Again, diamond bit is safe to be used on the natural skin, on the natural nail bed. It's scraping it off. So by the time you're done with the service, you have minimal cutting you need to do with the cuticle file. So something to keep in mind if you're really getting into it and you really want to understand what the different bits do. Take advantage of whatever free education the brand is offering you so you have an understanding. And it's not limited to just, someone who's doing the service, but it's open for anyone who needs to have the product knowledge. Some other bits that I like that I've purchased is from a different brand, is very similar to this one. See, they're one and the same. Every brand has some variation of the same thing. So this again works to clean around the edges and underneath. And these are specifically to be used with acrylic. So understanding which enhancement you're using it with also matters. Hi. And then you also have a game changer, which is like a 5-in-1 bit. Depending on what brand you use, they all call it something different. But this one helps to do a lot of cleaning around when you're using bulky product. And then shaping it, finding it, and then again, coming back down with your mandrel band and your file that works just like this. So the idea of the file is to help move through the service faster, but it doesn't mean that you have to lose your quality of work that you're doing when you're moving through it faster. So that's really what I wanted to share. I wanted to change the idea and the language that's being used. You as the client, you as the service provider, when you are providing a nail service, changing the language around efile versus drill. A drill is something you use when you're putting holes in the wall. You're not putting holes in your nails. You are enhancing and beautifying your nails, so you want to make sure that you have a working understanding of what you're being serviced with and what you're providing service with as well. Any questions? I know I was going through, but I'd love to see all the faces. I got no hearts. Oh, I got hearts. Yay! Thank you. My one viewer. It's okay. I'm dibbling and dabbling and finding my footing in terms of the little gems that I can share. If I can, like I said, if I could share this with somebody who is on a new journey, trying to figure it out, trying to understand what's everything, because there's so much products that are out there, and knowing what each product does can be a little bit overwhelming. But if you can hear from someone who actually went through the trials of getting a ring of fire, filing their nail too much, using the wrong bit, not understanding the bit, then practicing and finally getting it, then you know that it's possible that you're going to have your trials and errors, and it's going to work out. You're going to be fine. But I'm glad that I was able to share some of my favorite products. So I love their product line for different types of bits that you can use, understanding it. They give so much information. They do provide workshops and classes. They also do a lot of lives where they'll have other nail techs take over and share the different products, and you use it in real time. Maybe that's what I should do. Hi. Oh, you can hear Mimi in the background. My daughter in the background. Maybe I should do a live one time when I'm doing a service, so you can see how I move from bit to bit to bit and how each bit works throughout a service, and it kind of puts a little bit of content into context. So yeah, maybe I should do that. That would be good. That would be cool. My little trial and error series. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining. I hope this helps somebody have a better understanding. And if you do have any questions, DM me. I can definitely give you my tips and tricks that work, or advice, and you understanding what's the best thing you want to choose and purchase. All right. Thank you guys. Wait, how many on average bits do you use in a service? Okay, so from start to finish, these are the bits in order that I use. So let me just pull them out for you guys. So from start to finish, that was a good question. Thank you. So I push the cuticle back, whether it has an enhancement, doesn't have an enhancement. So if it has an enhancement, I'm starting off with removing whatever gel polish or acrylic with one of these two bits. Where's my other bit? Ha ha ha. Right? If it's a bulky product like acrylic, I'm going to use this one. If it's a builder gel with just thank you for that question. If it's just the builder gel with the gel polish over it, I'm going to use this to remove the product, right? So once I remove the product and I'm down to the new growth and I'm down to the natural nail bed to prep, I'm going to start off with my Russian nib, right? My Russian nib. Here we go. I'm going to bring my girl out. Okay? So I have my girl. Can you see her? Say hi. Hi. Okay, so my girl is going to come out, and I will use this around her cuticle, right? So it's going to remove the protein from the skin and separate it, right? Do that. Once I'm doing that, whatever protein is still stuck to the skin right here, I'm going to start scraping it over here, removing it, and then I go there. From there, I will take my mandarin bit with my, there we go. With my mandarin bit, and I will start working on that. Excuse me 1 second. Okay. Can you guys hear my music? I'm sorry if it's a little loud. Try not to do that. There we go. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to use this on the natural bed, shape it, whatever, finalize it to get it ready for the enhancement that I'm going to use. Then when I'm done with that, if it's an acrylic, I'm going to come in, I'm going to shape, and then depending on how much smooth it is, I'll come in, do the final touches with this bit right here. Oh, there's one bit that everyone loves and I didn't show, so I was gonna get to it, but I'm glad I'm going through the different bits that I'm using. So once I do all that, I do the puff. Hold on, where are we? I dropped it. Just opening a new pack here. I'll smooth it out. this is the brand I use. You don't necessarily have to use this brand, but it's my sponge, right? So the 180 sponge to smooth it out. And you never want to make it so smooth that it's like a shine finish. You want to have a little bit of grit left over because guess what? Adhesion. Adhesion. You want the product to soak in. You want it to stay. You don't want any lifting. So you want to make sure you leave a little adhesion. So once I'm done with that, depending on the product, if it's builder gel, I don't need to use this. If it's acrylic, I'll use this to do a final finish before I use this, right? And the very, very last thing that I will do after I have completed the nail polish, completed the top shine, I will come in with my oil. Right now, this is everyone's favorite from Shop Nails in the Trap, which I do have a code. I'll pin it below in my comments when I'm done because I'm going to save the live. So I'll come in with this. And this is my shine bit. So I'll put the oil. And this is a game changer right here because not only does it remove any leftover debris, if you're a nail tech, you know how like right here has a little bit of that glitter that's still here. It'll remove it, right? But not only will it remove it, it'll exfoliate and remove some of the dead skin that's there. But it's gonna work the oil into the matrix. And if you know what that means from a nail tech perspective, the nail grows out from here, from underneath here, right? If you're looking at it from a client's perspective, this is what's gonna help your nail grow, right? And I have had so much success with people saying, my nails never grow, my nail can't grow. And they come back and they're like, did you see my nails? My nails grew. Like they're amazed at what's growing underneath, right? Or they're amazed that they had a nail that started off short and now that after we did the natural overlay, it's grown out a bit on the free edge. So, you know, again, I definitely had some trials and errors, but I'm glad I had it because it's brought me to the space where I can share that journey, that experience with you so you can kind of have a starting space of what's going to work and what's not going to work for you. What was that question? Average of about 8 to 6 bits. Yeah, depending. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So there's 7 bits here, but that doesn't mean I always use 7 bits in every service. It depends on the enhancement that we're using. Well then, okay. So yes, it's definitely a fan fave. This polish tool. I can't tell you how many people are excited about it, but so yes, that's my little journey. I hope this helps. I hope this kind of puts some perspective for other people. But again, like I said, definitely if you have additional questions, reach out to me. If you want to see me do a live service, it's probably not going to be fast, but I can definitely do a prep live service. So this way it kind of gives a little, like I said, content to context. All right. All right. Thank you guys. That my one person. I appreciate it. Oh, Miss Beauty. Hi. I'm just about to end, but you can watch it. I'm going to save it. I just wanted to go over some of my hits or misses in terms of efile and bits that I like. So these are my 3 definite must-haves always. I don't work for this brand. I do not have a brand code. But there are some other people that do have it. There's a couple of people you can follow. They have it. And these, since being introduced to these bits, they have been a game changer for me. I even just recently got their acrylic kit. And their acrylic kit is phenomenal. So, yeah, I just wanted to share what mishaps I've had and make sure that, you know, I can share with someone else so that this way they don't have the same mishaps. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining this. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. My 1, 2, 3, couple of people that came on. So thank you guys.